and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by Superintendent Hime. We made it. December, it's here.
Moving fast. You know, when you're doing great things and all the people around you are doing such wonderful and amazing things, it just seems to go really fast. I'm very excited about the school year so far and all the wonderful things we got going on.
Well, we have a lot of things to update our families on because next week is going to be our special student podcast. So we want to fit it in this week and let them know what's happening.
Yeah, and while we're talking about the student podcast, hey, if you got questions you want to hear from the students or certain things you'd like to have us discuss, hey, info@lawtonps.org. Don't forget, info@lawtonps.org. Send us your questions or your thoughts and we'll share it. Talking about as we move forward, next week, the calendar, December 16th is a professional development day. We're doing PD across the district, but it also gives our teachers and our buildings time to have some team time or some time for them to have some Christmas gatherings and bring some potlucks or whatever they're going to do at their buildings to celebrate the holidays. Then when we come back, our original calendar had January 2nd as a work day. January 2nd is a holiday, so no one will work. It will be a holiday across the district. January 3rd, everyone will be at school. We expect all of our students back, and it'll be a normal day in the calendar of Lawton Public Schools.
And as we talk about the winter break, we hope that we get a little bit of snow, but then...
Yeah, snow's fun. We want to get a lot of snow where kids can play in it, but then all the roads are clear really fast so that it's not dangerous and everybody can go to work.
Absolutely, which reminds us to talk about just winter weather. Yes.
And again, we do everything we can when we get weather. I know you stay on the phone with Fort Sill weather people, with KSWO, and all the other weather people. Obviously, we all get on weather.com like some of you guys do. Some of you have the Weather Bug app and all the many weather apps, and you're looking at the weather and we're predicting the weather. Our ultimate goal is by 6 or 7 o'clock the night before, we decide to cancel school if we need to cancel school, or in 2023, canceling school is calling a remote day or a virtual day, depending on the weather and what we want to do with our staff. But as far as students go, that's the ideal. We try to do that as quick as we can. Again, if we have a school day and you're a parent and you feel like the roads in your area are not safe or you don't feel safe getting your child to school, we'll work with you. Make sure your school knows why you missed that day, and we'll work with you to make sure they get their lessons and get virtually, dialed into what's going on and we get caught up in what we're doing.
And there's a lot of great things. This is the end of the calendar year.
One more thing on the weather.
Yes.
We talk about this all the time because everybody always says, man, what happened to the good old snow gate? I promise you, if we get a good snow that everybody can play in, we will have our snow angel, build a snowman contest, and have a snow day, a lot more of what we call the old traditional snow day for our students to get out in the snow and play.
Absolutely, and we love those, and that'll be found on our social media and our website when we do that.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
And just to make sure that our families know, we still have rooms that we're having invites so that the teachers are getting them set up, and then that's that transition from the other platforms like Seesaw and GroupMe and all of them, so we can have that uniform platform.
Yeah, the idea with rooms is we had numerous platforms out there in numerous different ways. So as a parent, you may have 3 or 4 different ways you're connecting with Lawton Public Schools, especially if you had multiple children in various buildings. So rooms is a way of combining it all. We're all on one platform, and it should streamline our communication. So when we do have weather days where we do have different things, it gets to you quicker and more accurately as soon as we can.
Now, before we talk about what's to come this week, we do have to give a shout out to our LPS Foundation.
Oh, wow.
Because last week, Thursday and Friday, we had a lot of filled hallways with cheering and celebrations.
Over $100,000 in grants.
And it's exciting because they have some cool grants out there by our staff, and I cannot wait to see what they do.
Foundation works hard to raise that money.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to them and all of our grant winners. You put that on top of it, I believe we got over $60,000 in Donors Choose grants when that last. So just in November, in that period, our teachers gathered in about $160,000 plus to support them as instructional. So big shout out to our teachers for working hard to get those things. We like to provide for our teachers and provide those resources. But hey, when you lift some of that burden from us, it allows us to do other things and provide in other ways. So big shout out to all of our staff and all of you who were awarded a foundation grant or a Donors Choose or both.
And for our families that are watching, you can see all the photos and some of the video from last week's activities on our social media page. And then the other thing that we were blessed with was the choir came by. MacArthur High School choir came and sang to several of our sites. And then that reminds us of the transition students. Will you share what's going to happen?
Yeah, they're coming Thursday, and they will sing to the board office at Shoemaker, and everybody comes over. We all enjoy it, just like the MacArthur students when they came by. We enjoy to get to see our students. It's one of the things that being a large district has been a little different for me. You're not quite as attached to students, but it was fun when they got to come there. We asked them to go down and look at the doors at Shoemaker and see because our staff is decorating the doors, and we talked about, the contest we're having. Obviously, everybody's going for second place because, my door is going to win. But, that's the way it goes sometimes.
We'll have photos and everybody can make their judgment. Good luck, sir. Good luck. The other thing is our Lawton Public Schools leadership classes. They have, like you said earlier this year, come together and are working in our community with a project. The most recent one is their Cozy for Christmas for our veterans.
So very, very excited. And that is the 13th, I believe.
Yes.
And we're excited about attending that and being a part of that. And just, in those meetings, and it's kind of fun when you meet with our leadership or just our students as a general, and talking to them before and after and some of the prep time while we're getting set up and just those conversations, it's very evident our students would love to see more activities that are district-wide that include all the students. They would like to build relationships with all Lawton students, not just those in their building. Not only would they like to vertically build those with the middle school and elementary students that are following the path they have educationally and will be, at their high school someday, they'd also like to build those relations horizontally with the students from the other high schools and do combined activities. So that's one thing that we hope the LRC helps break some of those walls down and creates more of that. But we also hope we continue to become one, do more activities where everyone's involved in the district. Although we still have a lot of respect as we get into basketball season. We have a huge basketball tournament coming to town this weekend. Big shout out to those who planned it. I believe Marco, coach at MacArthur, was one of the big ones that did a lot of work for that, but I know he had a lot of help, and I'm sure he will share who his help was, but have a lot of teams coming to town. Should be a really exciting high school basketball team tournament this week in Lawton, and we're always excited about those.
And it's the first one.
Yes.
So it's the Great Plains Invitational.
And, I think that thing will just grow because we have a great setup, and we have our own schools that can get in it, so we're just excited about that tournament and how that'll look in the future.
And we have some congratulations to give. We have two right now that we're tracking military nominations to their academies, and that is Matthew Aguilar and Ian LaRue.
Congratulations. Those are just awesome. Those are just, sometimes when you're in high school, you don't realize how honored it is for you to get that kind of an award or that kind of recognition. So it is really awesome, and congratulations to those students and all other students for some of the other things, because we try to find out everything, but we miss things. So again, that info at lawtonps.org, any of those things that come across, send them to us so we can shout them out, because we like to share some of all the great things going on in Lawton Public Schools.
Mr. Hime, are there any other celebrations? I know coming Wednesday, we're going to have junior leaders out there from our 3 high schools and then our community. They're going to go and do Education Day, so they're going to check things out. And then we just had AIM orientation a couple weeks ago for our sophomores.
This 2 weeks is very exciting. We'll have different groups out singing and performing and celebrating and bringing the holidays in. We have different groups all over providing food baskets and stuff. Even the district as a whole, Lawton Public Schools, I believe we're going to give out 80 food baskets this year that we'll pass out Friday the 16th. So that's a very exciting time for us. So, just a shout out to everybody who takes part of that and all those who, canned food drives and all the, I know there's a blanket drive going on at one school. So just follow your child's Facebook page and join in celebrating the holidays and supporting their causes as our students try to do service projects.
Is there anything else you'd like to celebrate? No, we're good. We're getting there. It's going fast and furious. I can't believe next week is the last week before we head into winter break.
Oh, but that's amazing, isn't it? One podcast. We only got one left in 2022. We'll be in 2023.
And you'll remember by next time when we come back in January, it's 23, not 22.
Oh, it's just too fast. I'm just now getting 22 down.
There you go. Well, Mr. Hime, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for your time. Until next week, we do wish you well. Be safe and make positive impacts. Have a good one.